When Cloud9 assembled the Colossus, each player was assigned a role that raised them from individuals and made them into a unit. Alex, the IGL, Floppy, the Anchor, Woxic, the AWPer, Esatag, the Entry, and finally Mezii, the Closer. Let's ignore that first four and focus on the last one. We all know that UKCS is best CS, so I'm going to break down the best player on this team. William Mezii Merriman is the support and closer for this team. We're all familiar with what the first role generally entails. Supports anchor bomb sites, throw utility, and take less favourable angles during map manoeuvres, wherever those be map control or executes. But what does it mean to be a closer? What does that look like on the server? And how much of an impact does it have on a team's success? To answer these rather simple questions, I'm going to be breaking down two of Mezii's demos in some amount of detail. I'm going to go over the positions he plays and his approach to rounds. My aim isn't just to focus on this closer idea, it's also to see in general what Mezii does well. Because as I've been watching Cloud9, Mezii strikes me as one of the best players on this team and likely in the long run, one of the most important to their success. The two maps in question are both from their series against Movie Star Riders during the DreamHack Masters Spring Europe 2021 closed qualifier. I'm also going to throw in a couple rounds just at the end from various games that are like nice highlights to reward the people who made it through the entire analysis section of this video. We begin on Inferno. In the pistol, Mezii and Xeppaa pull off an awesome bait and switch setup, with Mezii in the graveyard and Xeppaa up close in the apartment. Mezii takes first contact, even managing to land a headshot before Xeppaa swings with his CZ and takes down two. On round 3, Mezii plays under quad whilst the team is fighting in banana. He boosts Esatag, forming a classic bait and switch where, for once, Mezii is the switch. However, the plan falls apart when a T comes peeking out before Mezii has been able to hide himself. Thankfully, Mezii's a beast, so he gets the kill anyway. More Ts arrive, but it's a massacre. In more typical rounds, Mezii plays a combination of apartments and pit. He will also take up residence on short occasionally, his positioning generally decided by the number of players there are on A and who those players are. In my video about the future of Polish Counter-Strike, I brought up CT or positional diversity. As an anchor, Mezii does something similar. He throws specific utility, then has a variety of different things he does positionally behind it to throw the other team off. Mezii will throw this molly into apartments on a number of rounds. Off the back of this molly, he does one of three things. First, hold the angle for a peek, then retreat. Second, hold the angle for a peek, then push. And finally, back off and not actually be anywhere to be found. In round 7, he chooses the push option and bags himself a double kill. A key aspect of any CT side is gathering info. When Cloud9 believe their opposition is on a low buy, Mezii will do this jump across the apartment's window to check second mid. It makes sense to do this as teams on low buys will often go for faster executes, especially apartment pops and B rushes. By peeking into second mid for just that instant, you get a pretty good idea of where the opponents are, if it's likely to be a B rush or the A pop. Round 14 starts with an unexpected aggression which leads to the death of Xeppaa in apartments. Mezii falls back and ends up defending the eventual push from apartments. He gets a single kill, then doesn't die immediately, which is a vital part of the anchor role. All of this anchoring and passive play serves the purpose of allowing Mezii to be one of the last players alive. This is what it means to be the closer. In late round scenarios, it's down to him to make those decisions and those plays that will win the team the round. Whilst he doesn't win any big clutches or have some super impactful rotations on this CT side, that's mainly due to the fact that this CT side went particularly well for Cloud9. They won rounds quickly and decisively, with their initial aggressions, peaks and formations working out pretty favourably. These kinds of halves will put a cap on Mezii's performance. He is the last resort for the team, not the first option, so if he's getting double kills, he's usually bailing the team out. In this scenario, the team did their job. The T side kicks off with an apps pop, it goes terribly, Mezii jumps out and dies, nobody trades anything, then the rest die. Perfect start. Mezii on T-side Inferno spends the majority of his time in second mid, holding for pushes and finding information. This default typically has him playing with Floppy, who does a lot of entering on T-side executes thanks to S-Attack moving to the AWP. He's actually pretty good at it, to be fair. Round 25, we have a classic example. Floppy goes hard, Mezii gets a kill off the space created, and the aggro Floppy draws. Classic 1-2 punch. On the final round, we get a clutch. Fast banana control and then the ensuing chaos leaves C9 in a 2v3. They plant the bomb, and then both players push construction to isolate and kill a CT. Mezii ends up in a 1v2, which he closes out with a plom. On T-sides, it's defaults that allow Mezii to be the closer. He doesn't take any unnecessary risks with his life, very rarely taking aggressive map control, and instead holding for CT aggressions. Okay, that was a relatively uneventful map. Cloud9's CT domination allowed them to close the map out pretty comfortably. That was actually the second map of the series though. The first was Overpass, and Cloud9 were forced to do something they absolutely hate: have a strong T-side. The CT side therefore didn't really go as planned, which led to Mezii having a far higher involvement in rounds and having a bunch more kills. By watching this demo, you'll understand why not necessarily all of that's a good thing. The scenarios where he gets his kills often are suboptimal and aren't really what the IGL would have planned from any of these rounds. The pistol starts with a 4-man B-stack. A pair of nades thrown towards Monster deal a ton of damage, but the fights all go the way of Movie Star, and the round is over before any of that nade damage can really have an influence. Good job, Mopos, you got a bunch of kills. Second round, they stack A with a pistol buy. Mezii hits a nice 1-deg and then does damage on a second as Cloud9 go on to win with only pistols. This is a recurring theme that really winds you up when you watch this demo. Round 3, we get this A-long aggro between Mezii and S-Attack. They're able to take a lot of space, and their aggressive positions net them a kill on an unsuspecting team. The round then devolves, and Mezii isn't able to win the resulting clutch. Only 3 rounds in, and Mezii is already being left in 1vx scenarios. Now do you see what I mean when I say this game goes less to plan, so Mezii ends up having to do way more. Well, he's asked to do way more. It's not realistic to expect him to win every clutch. Round 5 they win a full eco, Mezii gets 2 of the kills. What the fuck, Movie Star? Whilst it is great that he gets 2 kills here, this isn't the kind of impact you really rely on map to map, so we'll take it with a pinch of salt. The majority of what Mezii does on CT Overpass is support S-Attack's AWP. Mezii is the one holding to make sure S-Attack doesn't get flanked from toilets when he's holding the long line up to connector on rounds 6 and 7. Round 11 sees Mezii and S-Attack take a more aggressive stance towards long, leading to Mezii getting a flank off on the players in toilets. He kills one, but then gets traded. Another pistol force on round 12, another double for Mezii. He's so damn good with these pistols, but still, this isn't what we're really looking for. Round 13, we got a really cool hardcore parkour nade throw. Just had to include it because it looks so sick from his POV. When Esatag goes for a pick in connector, Mezii plays on party to cover his retreat. The T's push up to Fountain before Mezii can fall off himself, so he has to fight his way out. He picks up a tasty double kill, which realistically he had no right getting. Thanks to most teams preferring the B site on T side overpass, and thanks to the massive amount of space that can be taken and moved around in on the A site, Mezii can perform both of his roles simultaneously. He supports his AWPer without dying, allowing him to at least attempt clutches and rotates to close out rounds. Now, onto the T side. They get B for free on the pistol. The CTs are playing retake in this scenario. As Movistar come pouring in from short, Mezii gets himself a quad kill, showing off more of this outstanding pistol work. After the pistol round, Cloud9 convert the net. Nope, never mind, they lose the second round. This is such a frustrating game. During buy rounds, Mezii spends a lot of time hanging out in connector, very passively, holding for pushes and information. After spending a good deal of time in connector during round 20, Mezii and the gang go for a contact play out of Monster. Mezii actually gets one of the first kills, which is a novelty. Round 25, he holds connector, then slowly clears it this time, catching a timing on the CT sat in this corner. Occasionally, Mezii sits in connector as a hard look, but a lot of the time he'll regroup with his team to throw utility that he has saved up from not doing anything for the first minute of the round. Either way, this is an intentional ploy to keep him alive into the late round. Round 26, we switch things up. He takes more aggressive control of connector alongside Zeppa. They clear it and transition into toilets control, with Mezii making sure nobody can catch them out from sight as Zeppa peeks all the angles inside. Round 27 shows us the biggest flaw in this kind of hard closer, hard lurk system. It's predictable. Movistar have 3 players clearing out the connector on their way to B, knowing there's a good chance Mezii is waiting in one of the corners. Mezii does get a kill, but his impact on this round is significantly reduced. Mezii is a player of great value for Cloud9. He plays for the success of the team, giving up opportunities for personal glory in favour of more supportive and anchoring roles. His position as a closer is much lauded, but in reality it doesn't represent the majority of what he does on the server. Sure, the clutches are awesome, and I have no doubt they add some amount of value, but his real value comes from his willingness to just be a part of the system. I think there's more value in the way he plays alongside the other stars than there is in counting the number of clutches he's managed or not. Because you've made it this far, here are a couple clutches for you guys to enjoy.
Heaven Mo and Norbert trying to make a play for this, trying to get this retake back in. Mezii's playing from graffiti. Alex pushed up in front at the water pit, but Mezii's position unchecked. Will this be a clutch from Mezii? Damage dealt done onto Mo. Smoke up as well. That will give Mezii cover, allows him to take a wider stance and moving forward. Mo going for the quick shot.
Alright, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment telling me what you think about Mezii and the way he plays in Cloud9. If you want to see more of this content, subscribe, and yeah, that's all for this one. Goodbye.